Do I get the medal for being the first one?
Sure.
Good. Put it in with my next paycheck, will you?
Yeah, will do. Yeah.
Okay. Does PYC lock up their gate, their gate at the road there every night?
Every night. Yeah. Yeah. It's open. Well, when they're having races, they have a little flip thing on it to open it up.
Okay.
Covers up the photo detector.
Well, I'm hoping to use PYC for conducting the SWAT there, but it'll be in the evening, so I don't know if it'll be locked when we get there or locked when we're done.
Oh, Bob, or I can open it up, or they can have somebody come out and open it up.
Okay. Hello, Mr. John.
Hello there. How you doing?
Hey, while we got a moment,
Yeah.
understand from Norm Owen that you are good friends with our members, Jerry Price and Pat. You know them fairly well?
Jerry Price, yeah.
All right. Their membership dues should be renewed. It's either August or I think it's September.
Good.
Would you mind giving them a call just to say, have you seen the paperwork yet? You do intend to renew, don't you? Just kind of make sure that it's going to happen.
Chief Linda talked to Pat.
I didn't understand what you said.
I said I'll have Linda talk to Pat. They're good buddies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you sponsor them into the squadron? They joined about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, we got them going.
Okay, good. I didn't know who the connection was here.
Yeah, so we've known them for quite a long time since we were over at Island Cove.
Okay, good. Hello, Mr. Bob.
Hello, sir. How are you?
So did you get the person you were hoping for?
Yes, believe it or not, we actually have options now since Bob Heck came up with someone too.
Cool.
I'll tell you about the guy and his background and the volunteer organization that he's associated with.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this is a strong contender here. I think he can help us out in a couple of ways.
Awesome.
Linda Grochin will not attend or not be part of the meeting today. And then you saw the thing about Norm.
I didn't say Norm, but I saw her. She's got granddaughter's got a golf game or something. She didn't go to.
Yeah. Well, she will not participate right now, and then Norm will not either.
Okay.
Are the Hecks back in town yet, or are they still up north?
They are back in town. I expect them to be on today.
Good.
My understanding.
How long they staying in the area, do you know?
Through the weekend, I believe, heading back.
Just a couple days then. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Bob, Bruce. Unmute, man.
Your audio's muted, Bob. Hey, Greg.
Greg,
I'm good now. My computer acted up. I'm sorry, I was a couple minutes late. You all look so serious. What's the matter?
I was noticing it. Hey, almost 5 after. What are we doing?
Well, you want to wait for Hex? They should have some stuff to say.
Well, did Bob pass along to you the name, I'd say go ahead and let's get started. He can fill in the blanks.
Concur, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. We may have options finally.
You're breaking up, Jim. Breaking up.
Someone to facilitate. All right, try it one more time here. We may have options since Bob Heck came up with a name. I ended up following the whole lead of phone calls. Finally got a hold of an organization called SCORE.
Yeah, I was trying to think of them. Small business group.
It's a national
Volunteers.
organization. They have local chapter here in Chattanooga. The acronym used to stand for Service Corps of Retired Executives, but they don't go by that anymore. They go just by the word SCORE. These people nationally, their effort is to assist small businesses, nonprofit organizations, not for-profit. I ended up finding 2 other organizations that deal just with for-profit, but the SCORE, I'll call it a company or organization, deals just with nonprofits. And they get a very large contract through SBA, the government, Small Business Administration, to assist nonprofit small businesses.
Hey, there's Bob and Marty.
Hello.
So the person that I finally got a hold of is the district director of SCORE. He lives just south of Knoxville, but everything that they do is at no charge or no expense to the small business. So even his coming down here to help us out, he said that there'd be no charge to us. He can work off an expense account and combine that with other business. So he seemed very willing to come down, help us out. He has conducted SWOT analyses in the past to various companies, other nonprofits. His feeling. What? Am I getting feedback? I thought someone else was talking here. He felt very strongly that the SWOT analysis should be done face to face rather than try to do it over Zoom or any virtual. He and I batted around what I found so far with PYC, and I told them that we may have anywhere from 8 to 10 people. If we spread out at PYC, we should be far enough apart from each other in order to accommodate Sam and maybe some others. I talked to PYC about getting 2 evenings during the week from 6 to 9. I had to start with something, so we threw that out. But the guy named RG Lineberry is the SCORE director that I'm talking to. RG felt that was very appropriate to have 2 evenings, 6 to 9, and we could accomplish 2 separate sessions there. He felt very strongly about if he's gonna come help us out, he's gonna send us a list of homework prior to the first meeting, so that everyone comes there prepared. So he kind of threatened us, if you want to call it that, but said that there's if you want to get what we expect out of this process, there's some pre-planning, some homework to do. He did state that even after spending two evenings with us to conduct the SWAT, they would stay, or SCORE would stay in touch with us to help us take that a step farther to develop a strategic plan for our group and goals and objectives after that. So it's more than just helping with the SWAT process. I think we could benefit by their experience and their capabilities with nonprofit small businesses. We started batting around potential dates, and he suggested September 8th and 9th, or the week of that would be the best for him to come down and do it. So I told him I'd run all this past the powers to be, and I'd let him know where we go. Any questions on this guy that I guess found that could help us out before we ask Bob to tell us about his contact?
Sounds good.
Okay. Bob Heck, understand you did some homework too, and rustled the bushes, found another option for us.
Yeah, I did. A guy named Dave Fuller. He's commander in Atlanta. He's also he's a captain in the Coast Guard Reserve, or not reserve, but auxiliary. And his wife Danielle, and they both are high up in that. And he's usually at the national meetings, and many times has to present at the national meetings for the Coast Guard people. Anyway, I just mentioned to him that we were talking about doing a SWAT and needed somebody to go ahead and handle it for us. And he said he'd done it before and he'd be happy to do it. And he'd usually bring his wife, Nan Ellen, to come too. I didn't get any further than that. He just said, let me know. I said I would.
Say his name again, please.
Dave Fuller.
Dave Fuller. Okay.
Fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R.
Right.
He's commander in Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Atlanta commander.
Well, I recognize the name once I understood it. Well, what are your feelings with him?
I mean, he'd do okay. I mean, I don't have any real preference to anybody. I was just looking to find somebody that would do it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, because until yesterday I had absolutely zip. So I felt like a salesman dialing for dollars here.
I kind of feel that from what you described from this fellow that you found, sounds to me like he's what we need. And I would be more than happy, and I'm sure it wouldn't hurt Dave's feelings at all.
Yeah, especially with the follow-up that this guy would be willing to do for us, and the fact that he's no charge, that it's,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, and I did ask him about, he mentioned he may get a hotel in town. And I said, well, could we at least take you out to dinner that night? And he said, no, because we have this SBA contract that forbids us from taking any money at all from anyone. However, when I was talking to the Chattanooga SCORE representative, he said the same thing, but what he agreed, or what we could do, is donate to their organization $100 or X amount of money. He said, yes, they will accept donations. They just can't accept any personal favors for an individual doing work. So if we wanted to reimburse them in any way, we could consider that. But I thought this guy, well, it turns out he was in the Navy, I guess, made a career out of that. and owned a boat after that, knew about USPS. He apparently was never a member, but knew about USPS. And as I'm talking to him on the phone, he's getting on his computer, locating district. He says, "You're part of District 17, is that right?" I'm wondering, where the heck is he getting this? Well, he's searching on his computer. He ended up locating our web page and went through it and said, "Oh, I see this and this and this." And I was pleased that he had enough interest that he would start to research us right away. So I like the idea that he can help us with follow-on activities.
May I say real quickly right here, thank you, Jack Everett, for having our webpage up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually had something good to look at. Thanks, Jack.
Well, I hope he got to the new one, not the old one. Like he must have. If he went to national to find us, he got the new one.
Yeah, he got the new one there because
Yeah,
he
that's
started
standard.
reading off the list of officers there. So he has the current one.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Jim, I
Let's
think
see.
they sound like just what we need for what we're trying to accomplish right now. I kind of like having somebody who's not, involved in Power Squadron because I think they might bring in new thoughts about who we are and what we're doing.
I agree. We don't want anyone with Power Squadron baggage, so to speak, that might, not that we need them to have an idea, but we don't want them to have a
History.
view. Yeah.
Right.
any other discussion then? Or we want to go with this gentleman from SCORE?
Sounds good.
Sounds
Good for me.
great,
Yeah.
Jim.
Okay. And Bob, you're sure that you're not going to get Dave Fuller mad at us?
No.
He'll be fine.
Okay, because if he gets mad, we're going to blame you.
And when it comes to making strategic plans,
that's
it's going to be helpful to us.
Well, that's what I thought. That that told me that this group is interested in helping more than just one specific area. And I like the idea that they do this. They're all volunteers for this SCORE organization, but they seem to have a lot of experience doing it different times, different places, at different levels of detail here. So, I wonder if, I'm not sure how much we can utilize his services, but he did say specifically follow up from the SWAT as a strategic plan, and he'll carry us through that.
Well, that's what we're going to need. Once we get through the SWAT, we need a strategic plan.
Is this SCORE organization, is that SCORE?
SCORE, they used to call themselves Service Corps of Retired Executives, but
Okay.
they opened up their membership to people that are still working. So
Okay.
they don't call themselves SCORE anymore. They just go by the acronym SCORE.
Okay.
But I recall hearing about these guys 15, 20 years ago,
Wow.
because in particular, the retired executive organization there. Okay. All right. If the gentleman's name, he goes by his initials, RG. Last name is Lineberry, Lineberry. He's a district director of SCORE, which handles all of Tennessee. So he comes down to Chattanooga regularly. We talked about the possibility of him meeting with us September 2nd and 3rd. It would not be his first choice. He was much more agreeable to the following week. So I'd like to press for dates here, date and time. See if
Are
we
we
can.
having a meeting on September 8th, the squadron meeting?
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday.
Okay. Greg, tell me what is on your schedule for that Tuesday? Is that just the executive meeting here?
I had our regular power squadron meeting was on there, but that could be from a while ago. I don't know if it's still planned or not.
John, confirm my thinking. Is there anything scheduled with respect to a general membership get together? Mr. Commander, you're
You're muted, John.
Well, we won't be able
Governing
to,
board.
we won't be able to probably.
Depends when it's scheduled.
Depends on when it is. That's, us, we
and
have
I.
conflicts with the governing board that week. Even though it's virtual, Marty is doing presentations and I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Uh,
Yeah, he's not sure when your presentation is
No idea,
scheduled.
but hers are going to be during the day though. So if it's at
Yeah,
night,
so if it's at night,
we should be okay.
yeah,
yeah,
that shouldn't.
in order to accommodate Sam and any others there,
Right.
and as far as PYC schedule, when I'm talking to Susan, the social director at PYC, she said that it would be easier for us to schedule something in the evenings.
Okay,
That's fine.
Fine with me.
So again, Mr. Commander, do we have anything that we're trying to do as a squadron on Tuesday, September 8th? He queried again.
is he muted?
I was mute. Okay, no, I'm good with that. I think that's fine.
All right.
Works for
Greg,
me.
Greg, I would suggest that date is probably left over from
Well, I probably, yeah,
when we
I
were
probably
trying to
put it in
do
the months
something this
ago.
year.
yeah.
Okay.
Jim,
All right.
you're looking at Tuesday the 8th and Wednesday the 9th?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's what we're going to shoot for. And I started asking PYC as well as Mr. Lineberry, 6 to 9 p.m. He said those 3-hour periods to allow us 2 meetings would be sufficient for him to do the SWAT.
Let's do
Agreed.
it.
All right, so I'm going to key on the 8th and 9th unless plan on that unless you hear otherwise. I need to confirm with PYC that we can have the spaces for that. Boy, Jack, you're right on top of things, aren't you? So, you're distracting me. And I think Mr. Lineberry is going to be feeding everything through me as far as confirmation, as far as directions, but also, remember I said now he's planning to send us homework or some either task to complete before we get together. I think he's going to route that all through me and then I'll distribute it to everyone.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we have date and time. We got people. I want to confirm people who from our executive organization that would attend this or certainly should be invited. John DePrima, Bob Carroll, Greg Golian, Bob Root. I guess I may attend. Linda Grosjean. Tom Street is part of our executive committee, but he has trouble, I don't know, getting around.
I don't know what they're doing on his college, whether he'd be back in session then or teaching then, but I'd say he's probably going to be a no for those, 2 evenings that late.
Yeah, he can't make it at that time.
Well, should I extend them the courtesy though, at least tell them what's going on and date and time?
Yes.
All right.
Sam,
Say again, Bob?
Sam.
Yeah,
Sam?
I'm getting there.
Okay,
Bob
you
and
can-
Marty, Norm Owen is part of executive committee. All right, then the one outsider of outside executive committee is Sam Hornsby. And if we got room, I'd like to have Sue Kimmel sit in on this to participate at the, I guess she likes to think outside the box. She challenges a lot of what we decide and why not this. So I think she would be good to contribute here.
Jim, what's the total head count? We're up to around 12 or 13 people.
11 to 12, depending on Tom Street.
That's too many.
That's too many people based on SWATs I've gone through. And just, you know, you and I've had conversation. If we get to a point where the head count's too high, I think I should be on the short list to back out of it. And I'm more than happy to do that if y'all want Sue to take my place. Just think about that, let me know. But I think 12 or 13 people is too many people for a SWAT.
Way too
What-
many.
What does Mr. Lineberry suggest for the number of people in the SWAT group?
I didn't ask him that specifically. We did discuss, or he was asking how many do I think we'll have? And at the time, I told him between 8 and 10. And
And his remark was,
he had no remarks on it. Didn't
You know,
say
you
good
can
or
break
bad.
these up into two groups. I mean,
Well,
5.
yeah, two
then you need two
facilitators.
leaders.
Yeah, and they need another facilitator. So one facilitator can't handle two groups.
You probably don't need two people from the education, so I'll drop out if you need space.
I wouldn't want people dropping out. I'd rather break it up into two groups. What's wrong with 5 people in each group?
Well, that's fine, John. We need to find another facilitator, and they need to move on.
One facilitator can do 2 groups.
No, it doesn't work that way, John.
Well, I think we ought to ask him that first. I mean, don't just assume that. Let's ask him.
Well, you've not ever gone through a SWAT apparently. I'm not being critical, but it's all, the facilitator is basically scribing and keeping the energy going in the room while you're taking notes on each one of those elements, and they can't be in different rooms at one time.
It's a full-time job.
It is. It's just not possible for one person to do 2 groups.
And if you get too many people involved, because I've been through them, and you get too many people involved, then you start missing out on what people have to say. Or people,
Okay, well then let's keep it to what we got here, because you don't want to bring in people that haven't participated in what we're doing.
I agree.
I still think we ought to try and get Sam, and we need someone younger.
I would be more than happy to step out and let's bring Sam in. I agree, because if we have a group of senior citizens debating how we're growing a senior citizen group, voting club, Sam doesn't need to be there. But if we're trying to do something for long term, you need a younger person in there. Sam
Absolutely.
can at least bring those ideas. And so, yeah.
Well, I agree. I mean, as far as that goes, I'll withdraw. And y'all can do it, and let Sam do it.
Part of the district. I'm the district commander. I got no business being in it.
Well, Bob, you are part of the executive committee, though.
Yeah, I am, but I'm also the district commander.
You can withdraw your nomination here.
I mean, if we want to drop out, somebody, Jim or somebody, you can just pick.
But what's happening? What I see happening is now that we've got it going and it's looking good, now all of a sudden not everybody really wants to be involved in this. Oh, I just should drop out. I don't go with that.
No, Bob, that's not what we're saying. That's not what people are
I'm more
saying.
than happy to drop out is that I think we need to keep the head count low. 12 people, 13 people, way too many. And Sam needs to be a part of this if you're looking at developing a long-term plan. I would love to be a part of it. Don't misunderstand. But if we're not going to be part of the squadron next year, you could make the basically say, I don't have any business being in there from that standpoint. But Sam, I think, is the future of the power squadron, and not have him.
Sam should definitely be in it. We already agreed to that the last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm just trying to count here. So if we have Jim and Sue, Bob and I.
No, wait. Well, I think in light of the conversation, if we're only going to have one facilitator, I think Sue should drop out too. I mean, I'd rather
Okay.
have Sam and a couple others in there rather than Sue.
That
Okay,
seems like it would get it close to the 10 head count of 10, right? I mean, I don't have the names in front of me. We've got 8 people here plus Sam and
Linda Grojan,
okay, that's 10.
Norm Owen is part of the executive committee.
Okay,
Well, just because they're part of the executive committee doesn't mean they need to be part of the SWAT.
I understand that, but if he wants to attend, wouldn't he have as much privilege as anyone else on the executive committee?
It's an invitation thing.
The party needs to be having an effective outcome, and I think if we get more than 8 or 10, I agree with Bob, it's going to degrade the quality of the results. I think we just have to pick 8 or 10 and be done with it.
All right,
Not with whoever you pick, Jim.
let me go through a list again. The short list. John DePrima, Greg Golian, Mr. Kimmel, Linda Grojan. Marty, you in for it?
I can do it if you want both of us.
You and Bob, you're saying?
Mhm.
All right. We'll count each of you. Sam Hornsby. What about Norm Owen? Without him, we have
Norm would make 8 then.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 now.
1, 2, 3.
John
Does that
DePrima,
Does that
Greg
include,
Golian, myself, Linda Grojan, Marty and Bob Heck, and Sam Hornsby.
I like Linda, but Linda she hasn't been to any of these meetings.
She's been reviewing all the recordings, and I think she's been making minutes. She hasn't published any.
She has
Yeah,
been. She has been listening to the recordings the next morning, and she still transcribes notes of executive meetings.
doesn't
I'm
contribute.
not worried about that. We have a good facilitator. That will not be an issue. I don't think.
but also let's look at the gender balance. And I would be willing to argue for Sue joining us.
How many does that make?
Go ahead, Greg.
I'm sorry, I lost track of the count, Jim.
What I have right now is John DePrima, Greg Golian, Jim Kimmel. I have Linda Grojan on the list right now. Marty and Bob Heck, and Sam Hornsby.
So we could add Sue and still be 8 or 9, right?
At
There's 7 right now.
Yeah.
That's without Bob Root, without Bob Carroll, without Norm Owen.
I would add in Sue.
That's probably valid. That we don't want all guys.
Well, Marty can hold her own.
I know she can very well, but she would get outvoted in a vote, though.
Yeah, I'm just
All right, we're gonna go with 8.
It's okay by me.
Either state your piece or hold your tongue henceforth.
Bob Roop, are you okay not being on the,
I'm good either way.
okay, you can, and you can have my say too if you're down to be on this.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
good.
I'd kind of, Greg, I think you and Bob Root both have good ideas, and
Yeah.
you tend to, I don't know if it's your experience or just thinking outside the box, but I think you've come up with some good stuff over the last couple of years. So, kind of hate to lose Bob.
Well, I can sit in the back and not contribute.
You can be the fly on the wall.
He can sit in the back and send a text to Greg, so Greg.
I'm not sure we don't have room for Bob. We still could stay under our goal, right?
We have 8 right now.
So,
Without-
well,
without-
I've got 9. I think that's probably okay.
Let's look at, let's
Say
talk,
again?
let's talk to the fellow that's gonna be the facilitator.
Well, we do need to.
See what he thinks.
Okay,
We can go with what he says. If he says we shouldn't have more than 8, that's fine. If he wants 10 or 11, okay, if he can handle it.
okay.
Great suggestion, dear.
I agree.
That's what we'll do. All right, so I'm gonna try to get PYC for the evening of September 8 and 9 from 6 to 9 p.m. each evening.
Yep.
Copy that?
Sounds good.
That's good.
I like it.
Wait a minute, that's a Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay,
You okay
well,
with that?
the racers don't have to be inside, so, there's, which is not racers, but they don't have to be inside the main area. They're usually doing a hot dog cookout outside.
So you think we're okay, Jack?
I would think so, but bounce that off us. Who are you talking to, Sue? Susan
Her
Howell?
first name is Susan.
Yeah, bounce that off of her.
Okay. All right, we'll go with that.
Do a quick list.
Anything else to cuss or discuss?
No, please get our homework as soon as possible. and double check our numbers, and then
Yeah.
we should be good to go as far as Bob and I.
Okay.
It's gonna be 2 nights in a row, so we can just stay on the boat. That'll be fine.
Unless it's sold.
No.
All right, people,
Thank you.
that'll do it.
Next Tuesday?
All right.
I'll email you updates
Did,
as I get them.
did we finally wind up with Linda in the list?
Yes.
Okay, because she had expressed, I think in one email that she, didn't want to do the Zoom stuff, but she did want to be involved in the SWAT. But,
Right.
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I know you don't, but we'll send her like Greg said, if this guy's a good facilitator and used to doing it, there shouldn't be a problem.
yeah, I understand.
All right,
And I don't want to do that, but she doesn't want to participate, and then she wants to participate. It's like, oh, I want to do the good stuff. I don't want to do that boring stuff. So I don't agree with that.
Well, like I say, she does have family grandkid conflict though. Anyway, that's the situation.
all right. I'll email any updates. Keep you advised.
Okay.
Okay.
Jim?
Thank you.
All right,
You're
it's not even 5 o'clock yet. But go for it.
Oh,
awesome.
no.
All right.
Not another time
We're
yet?
getting-
Oh,
Good
no.
job.
Getting good. We get better every time.
Yeah.
That's right.
See ya.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
Jack.
bye.
Thank you,
Thanks, Jack.
Jim.
Okay. I did look back at the latest newsletter, and there was a meeting shown on in that calendar for September 8th, so that'll have to be updated for the
Yeah.
full squadron meeting.
Okay.
We'll do another one of those.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
thank you.
Out here. I'll send the recording later tonight.